This is Windermere Cars and Coffee. The quality of some of these cars is simply top-notch. And when I took the cheapest Porsche 911 in the United States to this show, I was able to park in the back floor because they didn't want it anywhere near the front. It made me think, what would it take to make this base 1999 Porsche 911 Carrera level up enough to be able to be right next to 911 GT3s and McLarens? And is it even possible for it to outshine those cars? To attempt to accomplish this, I'm gonna take some inspiration from the Porsche 996 Club Classic. It's a car that was built by Porsche Classic working with the Porsche Club of America. And the final results certainly look the part. Of course, the 996 Club Classic also had a GT3 engine, so this could just end up being a poser. The plan is to take the 996 GT3 inspired front bumper and the ducktail spoiler. For paint, this is going to mean a respray of the front bumper and the lower chin spoiler that will give it that GT3 look, which will be good because a dog had gotten into the garage in my last house chasing a rabbit and scratched up the bumper, so it certainly already needs a respray. Obviously, it's also going to need a respray of the ducktail spoiler. For the body, I'm also planning to get some paintless dent removal and some professional paint correction to help it look as good as possible with the original paint. Inside, the plan is to put in a modern stereo to get features such as Apple CarPlay. I'll be changing out the seats for some race-inspired seats. Suspension upgrades will help give it a little bit of a better stance, some better cornering ability, and it's 25 years old. It's just time to replace some parts in the suspension. Lastly, I'm going to change out the steering wheel for one that I'll modify to have paddle shifters. And I'm sure there's going to be a few while we're in there things, so hopefully my wife doesn't check my bank account for a bit. But before that, there's one thing with a standard 996 that most people would want improved, at least if you don't have the Porsche Sports exhaust. In the next video in this project series, I'm going to be rectifying that issue. So if you're not subscribed, you're probably going to want to do that now. And once I put in this exhaust upgrade, my Porsche 911 will sound like a much more expensive car. So I hope my car insurance provider doesn't find out. The thing is, you're certainly going to want to follow this entire story from beginning to end. So I've put together this playlist that starts with my poorly edited video of when I first got the cheapest Porsche 911 in the United States. I'll make sure to put every single video all the way through this build and to see if we actually get in the front row of Cars and Coffee.